So hello everyone. So as everybody know that today we are going to discuss related to security. Then then I have also weak point of security. That's why I thought that let's have some discussion on security also. So we will discuss the security in .NET Core. Here we will discuss about OAuth 2 and then authentication authorization. Then we will see that how we can implement the ASP.NET identity. So anybody who want to speak about security, that what is security means, we should start from the basics. So first basic keyword is security. What is security? Anybody who want to put some highlight? Anyone? Ajay sir?
Hello,
Hi,
Pankaj sir.
Pushpender.
Pushpender
Hello
here.
sir. How are you? How Pushpender? Yeah, would you like to speak about security?
Fine. So security in the terms of we can save live data and we can means what is the word of beacon means stopping. Actually hackers are means hack the live data and they are means they are used for another purpose, so we can secure our live data. So we are providing the security to the application.
Right. Security is basically like we have home, office, right? So what we want, just let's take an example of office. The person only can enter who is going for the interview or they are part of company, right? Means there will be one security guard. They will watch every activity, what is going on outside company, inside company, and as a camera also. So means camera is what? Camera is basically for security purpose. Nobody should do any misbehavior. Like if you are eligible to enter into the premises of account department, then you will only enter into account department. You cannot go into R&D section. The person who is eligible to enter into R&D department, they cannot go to the management team. Like another example, we can say that suppose there is a boss, he is running board meeting. Nobody can enter into that. What is that? That is security. Security means authentication, authorization. Two things is more important. Authentication means if you want to enter into premises of our company, then you should first employee or directly or indirectly you should be associated with the organization. And another, the authorization example means if you are part of admin department, you will only assess the things which is related to admin. And same thing happen that if you are part of board meeting, director and all, then you are only eligible to assess that. So that is part of security. Anybody who want to speak about security? Yeah, PK, continue. And in terms of programming language, like I have designed a Web API and we are performing the business logic in that. So what I want that first I will put the authentication, like he should enter user ID and password, or whenever he is hitting my Web API in which I have developed in ASP.NET Core, he will send the user ID and password. And for that, we will generate a token. On the basis of token, he will be able to assess my Web API. So the way I am putting security with the help of identity server OAuth 2.0, that is part of security. Once he enter into our services, that moment maybe some user have the rights to access admin controller, someone have not rights to access the finance controller. So that is part of authorization. So we can implement that also. So anyone who want to speak about security, like what is security first? Gurdas, anyone? Hello, Sudeshwar Rai. Would you like to speak about security? Give us a little bit time for us.
Hello.
Yeah.
So you mean basically you would like to discuss about authentication and authorization, am I right?
From security.
Yeah, I mean,
Right,
like
right.
in the term of authentication and authorization, you would like to discuss, correct?
Right, right.
Okay, let's take an example here. I'm just going to discuss about the, let's suppose we have an MBC application, right? So generally what happened, we have the multiple ways to implement the authentication and authorization over there. Like we can use the form authentication or you know that I don't know, maybe most of the people know in this group, like we used to apply authentication and authorization through the ASP.NET Identity Framework, right? What we need to do whenever you will create a new project in MBC for the ASP.NET MBC application. So during the project creation, you get an option where you can choose what type of uh, I mean to say that you would like to apply authentication authorization or not, basis on that you choose the option over there. Whenever you select the template, and once you will select the template for that particular application, there you get an option to select the authenticate for the authentication purpose. So basically once you will select over there, like okay, I would like to implement authentication and authorization for the MBC application. So what will happen, it will automatically add the all the libraries which is related to implement the ASP.NET identity framework under your reference, right? So what it by adding that one, what benefit you will get, like if you will talk any application, every application should have authentication or authorization. If there are a multiple user is going to access your content, you must, if you like to get all the people data, so with the help of the authentication, what you will do, you will once you will implement authentication and authorization, so if any would like to check the, like suppose you have an application where you would like to for the example, you would like to develop application which is like a LMS, learning management system. So maybe every person should I mean to say that into that scenario, like if I am a student, so I can see only my own content, like how many quizzes I have done over there, uh, what are the activity I have done there. I would like to check that one. So of course, authentication and authorization will help you over there. How? Because whatever the credential I will enter over there, so basis on that, it will authenticate me, and it will only show that content which is related to me that we will achieve through the authorization, right? So basically, what happened into the all this scenario, to implement it, what we will have to do, we will have to we get a attribute, authorized attribute. So with the help of the authorized attribute, we can put it where you would like to use, like in a, I mean to say that in our MBC application, there is a global authorization. So what we do, we will have to go under the filter config.cs page, and there we will have to register it as a globally. So by default, it will apply to the all the controller which belongs to that particular project. So basically, if you'd like to allow a particular controller, like for the example, suppose you have for the example, suppose if someone is going to visit your website, so at least he or she should be able to see something like your website page as at least. So to allow only that controller, what we do, we use the attribute allow anonymous. So what it will do basically, I mean to say, like once you will use this allow anonymous attribute, you have a choice, either you can use this allow anonymous attribute either on a controller or a particular action method. Choice is yours. So once you will use this one, only that piece of the that only that controller content you will be able to see. If you try to access anything, right, it will not allow to do that. So why, what the benefit by doing this, I mean, there you can say this is the security to secure, because you don't want to allow anyone to access your content if they don't have a right to access that particular thing, right? So I think you will be able to understand in a more right manner once someone will show the all the thing by practically. I think here I have connected with my mobile phone, so it is not going to be possible for me, right? So this is all thing uh, from my side. Pankaj, right?
Thank you.
Is there anyone have any question? Whatever the thing I have explained, like if anyone have any question, they can ask.
Yeah, Grimesh, would you like to have some question?
No, right now, no, but I just want to add something about the security.
Yeah, continue.
Security is basically a mechanism by which we prevent our application from the unwanted access, and it can be anything. Like either you just prevent, and the way we talk about like authentication and authorization is the process, or you can say that it's a security process which help us to improve our application security. So you can say that authentication and authorization is the process. And what if we talk about the authentication and authorization, then authentication simply means a valid user, and the authorization is simply means a right access. In the MBC, there's my friend explained that we like achieve the authentication and authorization process through many process. Like we implement the filters by which we prevent the user to access or to deny the control of a particular controller or a particular page. So there are lots of the things in MBC we achieve this authentication and authorization, and it's all about it's a process, or you can say it's a part of the security, or you can say it's a mechanism of security. That's it from my side. Pankaj, you may continue.
Okay. So anybody who want to speak about security, authentication, and authorization? Anyone? Like as everybody have, yeah, someone want to speak about security? We have a lot of time. There is no limitation of time. And when we go for the interview, interviewer asks a lot of questions related to security. And the person who is having 5+ experience, they're going to face this problem of security. And if I will take my own example, then lot of time I get rejected because of security. And it is not easy for us to clear the interview of security also, because they are asking a lot of questions related to security. Hello, Manoj.
Can I ask something?
Yeah,
Hi.
please, Manoj.
So Pankaj, I have good experience in .NET and all that stuff. So let me tell about something about security. So there are a lot of aspects of security. You can say from front end, from browser, from back end, from your request with console and all that stuff. So we have to check the security from all the aspects, like that can be from SQL injection, that can be from breaking your application, and from DDoS attack or any type of attack in APIs. So nowadays there are a lot of things which are running right now to prevent the securities, like JWT authentications, and as all are saying, authentication, authorization, and you can say identity 4 is there to SSO single sign on for that. And in web security, there are different types of attacks, you can say. So we have to like consider all the type of security attacks and all the stuff about the application, either that is from front end, from browser, or from APIs, or anywhere. So that's it from my side.
Okay. So anyone else who want to speak about security?
Hi Pankaj, hi everyone.
Yeah, continue.
Like Girish was explaining that we can pick a few features when creating a template, and we get a lot of things out of the box from Visual Studio templates.
Yeah, continue.
Actually, I wanted to know if there is a way where you can have an API separate and your front end, which will automatically work with the authentication set in the API. Now what we get out of the box is you tick authentication in store in-app accounts, and you get all of these in that app itself, in that application. But I want to know if this can be done on the client side application. Authentication is all configured, everything is done on the API side, but the client side is configured and ready out of the box to consume the authentication authorization that is provided on the API side. If we can have a small demo on this today, would be great.
Yeah, Grimesh, would you like to answer? Actually, maybe demo will not possible. Grimesh, are you there?
Yes, I am there. Right now, demo is not possible. Pankaj, but next time definitely I will.
So would you like to give some idea? Maybe he can create the demo. As an overview, you can give some.
Yes, if system wise or Visual Studio wise, if it is a problem today, I have my system. I can share my screen. I have Visual Studios.
Demo like what you want, the demo of authentication and authorization process.
Yeah, let me again rephrase of what I said. Now, for example, I'm making a new application, a new project. Okay, so when I go to a new project template, on the left side, I have no authentication by default. So I go there, I say authentication is required. I need to store the accounts, users in app. If I tick that, I proceed, create the template. I get all the packages that are required, all the few basic screens for logging in, registering the user by default created for me. And the moment I click on register, fill up, submit, the database is all gets created based on the connection string that is there. Right, this is out of the box template. Now, what this one I cannot use if there is an API that is already having authentication. Okay. I create a new project. I select a web API. I need authentication in the API. I go ahead, proceed, create the template. Now in the API, if I do the same thing, if I fire a post request for registering a user, it creates a database and creates all that is required to register login by default. Now this I want to consume on the client side. I have an MVC application and I want to consume these features here on the client side. So probably I have to create my own register screen, login screen. But beyond that, what should be done so that I post the request for logging in? I get a token. How do I store? How do I do the authentication? How do I use the authorize attribute in my client side application, in my MVC application?
So you just want to do the save the user credential in the client side, okay? I mean, you don't want to
in the API side. The whole authentication logic is there in the API side. What I want to do is from the client side in a basic, very basic MVC application, client side application, I need to take the username and password from the user that is already registered, send it to the API, get a response if it is successful or no, and then do all the authentication on the client side, saying just the way that we use authorize or attribute, do that on the client side after I am done with the logging in process.
So this is very actually simple. I mean, you are just consuming an API. So in MVC, it's very simple. You can consume your API, and through API, the response after the in the response, you can fetch the response according to the API, which the response is throwing the API. Like it's throwing that it's okay and the user and credential is valid, and on the basis of that you can perform the operation. It's very simple in the if you want to consume any API in your application.
Right, can we do a small demo on this?
Yeah, next
quickly
time
create
definitely
an API, quickly
definitely
do a MVC application and then configure this.
Definitely on tomorrow, if I actually, Pankaj, can you schedule a new session on tomorrow as well? So I will explain that through.
Yeah, because we cannot complete the security in one session, right? We have to run 3 to 4 sessions.
So for all the demo, all the demo request, we just, I mean, keep me in remind, and in the next section, definitely, I mean, on tomorrow, definitely, I will explain you how you can consume the API, how you can do the request and response and process the authentication and authorization process.
Right. If
Sure,
anyone
sure.
anyone else
Thank-
also they want to show
Yeah.
some demo, then most welcome.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Girmesh. Thank you so much, Pankaj.
Yeah. So would you like to speak about security for 1 and 2 minutes?
Security, I have worked with out of the box security, so I can.
Yeah, whatever you have
quickly-
idea.
Yeah. What I used to do is, see, there is a lot of things if you do everything from scratch. So here in Visual Studio, the very basic template itself has options where you just tick saying, I want to have authentication and I want to store the user in app. In app meaning your database will be having the basic required tables for authentication. For example, you'll have a users table created, you'll have roles table created. And then once you have this setup, you also have the register screen by default. You have the login screen by default. And when you use this, the register screen, the login screen, all these entries are saved in the database in the default tables that are created. So everything out of the box. And then when you do the controller, in the controller, you can put only authorize. So it will just check if you're logged in or no. Or you can mention the required roles for a user to have access to that particular action in the controller. So only those users with that role will be given access. Others will be diverted to the login page saying you don't have access. So all this without doing anything is all out of the box and in the default template. You just have to take, you want authentication, and when you do a controller, an action, you have to mention that the user should be logged in. So you mention authorize. If you want user to have a special role to have access, you have to mention authorize and the role in the bracket. So a lot of things out of the box, and these are basic things, but out of the box and works really well.
Okay. So just after 5 minutes, Zoom meeting will get expired. So we need to join again, right? So anybody who want to speak about security, authentication,
Yes,
authorization?
Pankaj sir, Deepak this
Yeah.
side.
Yeah, Deepak, continue.
So, Pankaj sir, if we are talking about security, so in my mind, we have followed OWASP top 10 vulnerabilities and security risk. So under this, we can cover all the things like as authentication, authorization, and SQL injections, and like as cross-site scripting, and cross-site request forgery tokens. And I think we have to follow top 10 OWASP vulnerabilities if we are talking about securities in web application. So that's it from my side.
Okay, thank you for your participants. So there is one keyword, allow anonymous, like when we are implementing.
Hi, Pankaj.
security. Yeah, hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay, so I have connected with my machine now. You have seen that I have connected with a different PC, right?
Okay.
So let me show you to all of you the example. I'm going to take here the project as an MVC. So this short period of time, I would be able to show all the things which I have explained verbally, right?
Okay.
So is it okay?
Yeah. Should I make you host?
Yeah, you will have to make me host. Then I think the meeting is also going to be expired soon, right?
Right. It is going to expire within 5 minutes. So next
okay,
time.
no problem. So you, yeah, just allow me. I'll try to do as
So,
much as possible.
do one thing. Whenever you will give the session, that time you will be the host. Then some person who want to join, right? Then you have to approve them, right?
Sure, no problem. Just give me the allow me to share my screen.
Yeah, now you are host. You can try.
Okay, so I hope everyone can see my screen, right?
Yes.
This is Visual Studio 2019, which I am using right now. I am going to select here the template. I have just typed ASP.NET MVC. So the example which I am going to show you, that will be the best template. So this template I'm going to select, and you can read here, this is the template which you can select to create a ASP.NET web application, ASP.NET MVC web API, right? Click next. Here I'm going to give the project name. So testing, I'm just going to write a name here quickly. And let's keep the same location for this project, and I'm going to create. So I was talking about this template. I mean, this place where you can see authentication. Here you will have to choose. So there are multiple templates right now you are able to see. It's totally up to you in which what type of application you would like to develop. So basically our agenda is we will go with the MVC, and here you can see in the right hand side authentication. I'm going to select here individual user accounts, right? So what I mean here, with the help of the individual user accounts, you can also implement the O authentication, which is called open authentication. Like if you like to authenticate your application through the Facebook, Twitter, Google, or Microsoft, or any other third-party provider social platform, you can easily do that one, right? So I am going to click OK. I'm going to hit create, and like if you'd like to validate your application through the third party social platform, I mean the Facebook or any other social platform, so you will have to you will have to configure your application, this project, on that social platform, and then only you will be able to do that. How? I will not go in more depth into that area, but let me show you. Here you can see start.auth.cs, and in the bottom side you will see these are all the configuration. It's totally up to you which one you would like to use. Like you would like to use Microsoft account authentication, Twitter one, Facebook one, or a Google authentication. For example, if you would like to authenticate with the Facebook authentication, you will have to register this project over the Facebook. There is a URL which you will have to use, developer.facebook.com, and here you will have to do the configuration. We can entertain this thing into the some other class. I will show you, right? It will take time. Now let's come back to the authentication and authorization which we were talking about. So I have just created a simple application here, and let me run this application. So once I will run it, what basically will happen, the request will first of all go to the global.asx.cs page, and here it will call to the routing. I mean to say that I am just going to tell you like step by step process in ASP.NET web application which happens. So first request will come here, and then it will go to the route config.cs. This is the step 2. And here it will get the default controller and action method, which you can see home and the index. So after that, the request will reach to this is the step number 3. And before calling to, I mean, once this action will be called, before rendering the view, the request will reach to the view start.cs.html, and here it will just fill the layout property value, which you can see here. And this is the step number 4. So let me close it and open it back again. So this is the step number 4. Now you can see after this one, once this layout property will be filled, then it will go, request will go to the